Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is February the 18th. 2019. Strong hand. Offended by selling. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Unconfiscatable. No fancy sets or graphics here. Authentic. Conviction. Be in motion, people. And remember, this is your source of 20%er Bitcoin knowledge. Bitcoin first. Hey, yeah, 20%ers. I haven't talked about the 20%ers for a while. I love you guys. Thanks for visiting this channel. Checking out the archives at disruptmeister.com. Follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TECHBALT. You know, there's not that much to talk about today. And before the show started, I was looking at my hair and it's looking really nice. I mean, look at that spike. It's just growing straight up. I washed my hair on Saturday morning. Oh yeah, I haven't washed my hair since Saturday morning. Pound that like button. Yeah, hey man, when you're in the Bitcoin overlay, you're not working for anyone else. You don't wash your hair for a week, whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah. But no, it's something in the water. It's just naturally. Well, I don't usually, after a few days, it kind of starts falling down. I don't put anything in my hair, but now that it's long and it's really standing out, I really like it. I really like what it's doing. Yeah, that has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all, but it did have something to do with Bitcoin because again, I can have crazy freaking hair like this because I don't work for anyone, because I'm in the Bitcoin overlay. I'm in motion, baby. So let's get into what is going on. So it's President's Day back in the United States, right? So you're all off. Like no one's talking about anything in the American Bitcoin press, I noticed. And it's so funny because then there'll be people, so here in Israel, it's the end of the second work day of the week. Monday is the second work day of the week. So we've already got 2 days of work done. And back in America, they haven't worked yet. But then there'll be people in America saying, oh, Israel, the conspiracy. They have magical power. No, they work. And you have President's Day. Okay, so, it's almost Tuesday here now. We're about to start the third working hard for your money, baby. Hard for your money. Oh, yeah. So hard for you. Remember that song? It was in some advertisements in the 80s or something like that. I don't know. She works hard for her money. Anyone? Yeah. There was some good music in the 80s. Oh, yeah, you better be playing this show at 2x because some of you are like, wait, he isn't talking about Bitcoin yet except for his hair. Okay. Well, there's something I'm not going to talk about today. And it just shows you what we talk about, because this is a channel for 20%ers. I'm not going to talk about some freak of nature pretending to be some famous Bitcoin person. So, if you want to hear about that, go somewhere else. I'm also not going to talk about the fiat price or whatever, because I have said a million times, we're going to have days that it goes up by 500, down by 500, up by 5,000, and people are, when bear market over. No, we're not going to talk about that. It's just nice, pointless. Whatever happened. So, I don't know how many magical. But remember, we're long-term thinkers. We know in the year 2020, we know about that Bitcoin halving in 2020 and 2024. We we want more Bitcoin. We don't care how much it's darn worth in fiat at what it was worth on Sunday, what it's worth on Monday. What the heck? We care the future, how many Bitcoin we have. I'm going to talk about this on Saturday's show. Someone sent me a link. Who was it? A friend from Europe sent me a link. He knows who he is. And it was a link of an old video of this old dude giving old time advice. It was from like the 1940s or something like that. You are what you think. You are what you think. You become what you think. So I think a lot about Bitcoin. I think about my Bitcoin goal, what that is. And there's a certain number I would like to have. So like you become, if you think that enough, eventually you're going to get there, because everything you do kind of has a little something to do with that. You are what you think. You become everything that you do, most things that you do, put you in that direction of your goal. If you're thinking of it, and if you have conviction and you know you're going to get there. So, I do a lot of things. I talk to a lot of people. Opportunities come my way, and they will get me to that goal of well, I almost said something there of that yes, of that number of Bitcoin, whatever that may be. So let's talk about somebody that has a lot of Bitcoin, and that is Barry Silbert. And this is an article or a blog post. What's it called here? Grayscale sees a company record $360 million of inflows in 2018. So yeah, by the way, think positive things basically, and you'll go in a positive direction. That was the bottom line of what I was saying before. And think about your goal as much as possible too, because you will become that goal. I mean, if you think about negative things, if you get fixated on doom channels, then you will become a doom channel yourself. You will be the human manifestation of a doom channel, which must be disgusting. Okay, back to positive stuff here. Okay, Grayscale sees a company record $360 million in inflows in 2018. Grayscale saw a record yearly inflow into its digital currency investment products in 2018. In a report released this past week, Grayscale recorded nearly $360 million of new inflows for the year. 3x its 2017 haul, and more than 2x the inflows for the previous 4 years combined. Interestingly, of the $360 million of inflows in 2018, 66% was contributed by institutional investors, indicating that institutional involvement in the space remains healthy. Okay, there's a lot to take from what I just read off there. So, Grayscale is owned by Barry Silbert. And Barry Silbert's got his hands in a lot of different things. He's got, and Grayscale, that's GBTC fund is part of that. And so what we've just seen there is that the Grayscale products brought in $360 million of inflows. Okay, that was better than the year before. Everything, so much else in crypto was down in 2018, yet they grew. So, and it mentions here that 66% was contributed by institutional investors. So institutional investors clearly still have quite an interest and contributed to this success of 2018 for this organization. And what I think this all means, my interpretation of all of this, is that, this GBTC type of stuff, this isn't owning Bitcoin, actually. He owns Barry Silbert and his organization own the Bitcoin that's behind the GBTC. They also own the various companies that are part of or organizations that are part of Grayscale, okay? So when you invest in this type of thing, you're not investing in Bitcoin. The easiest thing you can do in life is just buy Bitcoin. But this complicates matters, seriously. But there are a ton of people and institutions that want to complicate matters, that are so gung-ho about complicating matters that in the bear market year of 2018, they were throwing record money at freaking Barry Silbert, okay? Record money at Barry Silbert. Despite all the doom and gloom around Bitcoin, they wanted to throw their money at a safe version of cryptocurrency. And again, this is a total misinterpretation, because if you don't own the real thing, Bitcoin, you own something, who knows what this is, what it could be. But hey, I'm not a traditional type of investor, okay? The golden holders of the world, the people who are used to, the IRA people of the world, let's say that. Because some golden holders, they weren't down with the IRA type of stuff. That's why they got into gold. So, but the traditional stock investors, the mom and pops or whatever, that put their retirements or in stocks and bonds, this is the kind of thing they like. And this type of thing increased in value in 2018. It was a raging success for Barry Silbert. So again, and a lot of it was done by institutional investors. So while we hear all this negative stuff and all the individuals are dropping out of crypto, oh, I don't want to, I'm selling, and I'm offended by selling. I want to get back into cash. All these other people are getting into these side projects to Bitcoin, which they think are very safe. And to a certain extent, they might be safe, but you can't beat the real thing. They're trying to beat the real thing. That trend is going to continue. We've got most of the world likes that traditional type of thinking. And the way they're going to get into Bitcoin is by getting into stuff like this, okay? And it grew in 2018, so I expect it to grow again in 2019. I don't care what the Bitcoin price does in 2019. They're going to still buy up this stuff because they think it's safe and that it's not as, it won't fluctuate as much, whatever their excuses are. They're convinced by this. Or I want to own part of a company that's going to deal with an altcoin that Barry Silbert says is great. Okay, dude, that's great. Instead of buying that altcoin, you should buy Bitcoin. You should never buy an altcoin. Of course not. But again, these people like third-party safety that Barry Silbert's products supposedly provide. There is no such thing as third-party safety. Safety is controlling your own private key. But again, I can't help what the masses want. And clearly, they wanted this. They put their money where their mouth is. Okay. Meanwhile, in our space, we got all sorts of people saying, "Oh, I value my wealth in cash now. I want out of Bitcoin, so I sold my Bitcoin." But so it's kind of funny. We've got supposedly hardcore Bitcoin people who are like, I gotta get, they don't really value their wealth in Bitcoin. They talk the talk. They don't walk the walk. Now, these people are straight up admitting that, we don't like Bitcoin. We like these third-party products. And hey, I give them credit. They're not trying to pretend to be Bitcoiners. They think Bitcoin is not safe. So they get into this Grayscale type of stuff. And the other point is that we should consider this a positive, okay? That let all the institutions, eventually some of these institutions are going to wake up and they're going to understand they're going to need to buy Bitcoin. They're not going to have to play these Grayscale games, but some still will. And so you and I will be very happy that we got into Bitcoin, didn't play some GBTC game, and we had the real thing before all the institutions and everybody else piled in. But look at this. This is a trend. People saying there's no institutional interest. There is. That people saying there's no interest in anything crypto anymore. There clearly is. This thing grew. So I have said many times that I think it would be great if the Winklevi brothers became trillionaires, because that means I would become incredibly wealthy too, because I own Bitcoin. And they own 1% of all the Bitcoin out there, supposedly, maybe. Okay, if they became the world's first trillionaires, then that would be great. No, again, no jealousy toward them. So many people, they're only rich because they went to Harvard. Yeah, okay, make your excuses. That's why you will never be rich, because you try to vilify people who have been very productive. But then, if Barry Silbert, he could very well he's got his hands in so many things. So if Barry Silbert became the first trillionaire, that would be great. That would be great. And some of you say, well, I don't know, he's created these products that they're not even really Bitcoin. At the bottom of these products, at the bottom of GBTC, there is a lot of Bitcoin. It's based around this whole, what is it, 178,000 Bitcoin or something like that he's got. And then there was B Cash and there was B Gold that he also has got in there that he had to sell and buy more Bitcoin with. I don't even know how the whole thing worked. But the point is, the point that is that I wish him luck. Now, he won't become a trillionaire the same way they will. They're doing different things in crypto. So may they all become trillionaires, because we'll be us holders of last resort. We will be in great shape. If Winklevi, if Barry Silbert or whatever. So a lot of people like the bad mouth Barry Silbert. Oh, he invested in altcoins. He did this, that, and the other. Dude is whatever. He provides a service. People want that clearly. Read that report that I quoted from. Clearly, and it's a positive. It is a positive for the space. Pound that like button, everyone. All right, we got BMT. He sent Bitcoin Memes today, sent 20 Norwegian kroner. Thank you. Told my family that all gifts in 29 will be BTC. Wow, your family should love you, man. I'm sure they already love you, but those are great gifts. Those are really great gifts. Make sure they know how to hold it properly on their Trezor. And thank you for the 20 Norwegian kroner. I assume it's cold and dark there right now. because what is it? It's here. It's 10:14 at night. So I guess there, what is it? 7:14 at night. So it's been night since 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? It's unbelievable. Again, many of my longtime viewers remember when I was in Bergen, Norway during the summer, and it would still be light at 11 o'clock at night, and then it would get light again at 3 a.m. in the morning, and it was almost driving me crazy. And I did an outside show at like 10 at night, and it was bright outside. Amazing place. It's different. It's different than what you're used to when you grew up in Baltimore or wherever, New York, and the light is normal there, I would say. Well, at least it's normal for us. Normal is relative. All right. For some, this hair is normal. For others, for most, it's not. All right. So here is what's this here? This is a tweet from W1. Being in New York is disadvantageous for crypto people. Ooh. Soon for tech people in general. The trend of getting out of San Francisco, New York, USA is definitely happening. Population mobility to tax/economic/political frictionless state is like water flowing to wherever resistance is the least. Okay. I will give you that, these high taxing jurisdictions, people are leaving. People are leaving California and moving to Boise and Spokane. I saw it with my own eyes. This is true. But to say I wouldn't say it's advantageous for Bitcoin people to live in New York, okay? I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage per se, because again, if you value your wealth in Bitcoin and you got enough Bitcoin, you can live in New York comfortably. You could, if you've been storing up and you work for yourself. My point in bringing all of this up is that if you have Bitcoin, if you work for yourself, you can leave any city at any time. You don't need a home. I don't have a home. I just go from place to place. Don't have a home. That is the beauty of Bitcoin. So crypto people should get themselves out of this mindset where they need to be tied down to New York, to San Francisco, to Boise, or whatever. You definitely don't need to own a house, but you don't need, you can make deals with people for short-term apartments, and you just pick up and leave when you want to with your wealth. You can live in a different country if your wealth is in Bitcoin. It gives you so many options. It gives you a lot of freedom. If you suddenly need to leave, because again, if you get tied down to one of these expensive jurisdictions and you need to leave, then you're in big trouble. For some reason, if you needed to leave San Francisco, but you were renting there, there would be some cost involved. There would be some sudden cost involved. If you were, had a regular job there. But if you're in the Bitcoin overlay, you just leave with your Bitcoin. That's it. That's it. Break. Do a sublease. Again, you shouldn't. Bitcoin gives you the confidence that you don't need to sign a year lease somewhere. You don't need to sign a year lease. You can do whatever. If the landlord, if they don't want to renew the month to month anymore, then move on your way. You got your Bitcoin. You work for yourself. You operate your business on the web. I think a good Bitcoin business, a good cryptocurrency business, you shouldn't have a home base. That's a weakness of a crypto business, of a Bitcoin business. If you have to be in a certain town, then I don't think you're doing it right. I don't think you're doing it right. Because it's a whole new world, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin overlay, as I say. And you can say what you want to do. You can live where you want to live, and no one can fire you. All right. So Andy Anderson, he says, he says, sold some Litecoin for Bitcoin today. More Bitcoin. Boom shakalaka. Oh, dude. Andy Anderson, I like that. I thought you were about to ask me a question about Litecoin, but that was beautiful, man. That was freaking beautiful. All right, that's the end of the show. There's not much to talk about today. I mean, there's always something to talk about, but that's what I'm getting off my chest today to you people. I'm glad to see you all. I hope you're enjoying your President's Day for the United States. If you're anywhere else in the world, I hope you've been very productive. Stay in motion, people. Pound that like button, bang that bell button. Click on those squares at the end of the show to see the videos. We had a really good This Week in Bitcoin on Friday, and on Saturday it was a great Beyond Bitcoin show. So always check them out. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you guys in chat. And yeah, play this at 2x, definitely. Bye-bye.